If you can, and you've lived this on a number of teams, when you get a group to take ownership of itself and the leadership is selling my stuff in the locker room when I ain't around, we got a shot.
Absolutely.
We got a shot. And I had Prentice Hub as a senior and Cormac Ryan and Nate Leshevsky, and those guys, because they've been with me a while, spoke my language when I wasn't around. And as you know, sometimes when it came from the quarterback instead of the head coach, it was way more powerful. And I'm okay with that. As long as we get where we want to get and win, I'm okay if the point guard told you how to do it better than me.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach, what you just said there, we're going to cut that, because I don't think, I'm sure you know this, that is such a rare philosophy for coaches nowadays. The idea of delegating, the idea of not having to have the final word, the idea that someone else could carry a very powerful message within the locker room or within the players, and be able to take that step back and say, go. I had time. I spent a little time the other night with Sean McVay, and I was just asking him about the season. He said, you know what, Greg, the one thing I would say about this year's team that was special versus some of the other past years, most of the season, my job was to get out of the way. And he goes, that was very hard for me. He goes, I'm almost OCD. I'm in everything. I was a micromanager. My job was to get out of the way and let these guys lead. Our 2015 team, Ron Rivera, that was his best quality. When we ran our Super Bowl run, we went 17-2. We lost, obviously, in the Super Bowl. It was player-led. So I just love hearing that after all these years is still at the core of how you're still running your program after all these years. I just love to hear that.
That's so interesting, because you've had the NFL guys, and Sean's a young guy. So that's probably a little hard to, whereas Ron, I look at him and I don't know him, but I look at his demeanor and I go, he knows who he is. He's confident. But it's so rewarding when you can get to that point as the leader and see your group kind of doing it on their own. I've told my guys, I said, fellas, I'll get the hell out of your way. I'll set up the pregame meals. We won't practice real long, and I'll get you to the court on time. And I ain't going to mess with you. I said, you know what we're doing here. And it's the ultimate feeling when you have that vibe going. And you can't get it all the time. But, man, as a head coach, I really try and nurture that in the off season with my captains.